Jameis Winston going back to New Orleans. Congrats.
Yeah.
Hey, Sham Charania, Basketball Insider, broke that news. We put some pieces together. The New Orleans Pelicans NBA team and the New Orleans Saints, same ownership, same, I think same social media. I would assume it's the same thing. Sham's got ties in the NBA.
Yeah.
So the NBA ties got Shams to break the news that Jameis Winston's going back to New Orleans for a deal worth up to $12 million. There's now a quarterback competition between Taysom Hill, who got paid a 4-year, $140 million deal a couple of days ago. All years voidable, so that means absolutely nothing. But Sean Payton just said this morning on the Dan Patrick Show, he said that they're set at quarterback. They feel as if those two are going to be able to compete to go on to be their quarterback. So congrats to Jameis Winston being the quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. That's a big deal. This is a massive deal for Jameis Winston, who just 1 year ago, couldn't find a job. He had just led the NFL in passing yards. He had his most, but he threw also like touchdowns to the other team, almost just as much as he did for his own team. He gets LASIK surgery. He signs a $1 million deal, min deal, basically, to go to New Orleans within the division. He says it's Harvard of football. Now Sean Payton's like, we want you back. Let's go. Drew Brees crying. This is your team now. I mean, it's a whole thing. Good for Jameis, good for the Saints. Can't wait to see what they pull off. Another quarterback signed yesterday, Ryan Fitzmagic. A man who came on this show and said that he had fire back inside of him after playing for the Dolphins this past season, was entering a free agency not knowing who was going to want him, who was going to want to have Fitzmagic in their uniform and make it his 9th team in the NFL potentially. Well, the Washington football team signed him to a 1-year, $10 million deal. Fitzmagic is back. Fitzmagic. There was a little bit of a conversation, like he's leaning towards retirement. Fitzmagic is thinking about retiring, and we all came out and was like, that sounds like bullshit. Guess what it was? Now he and Taylor Heineke, who might be the same people, different ages.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure. Only got to see Taylor Heineke in one game. That earned him like a $7 million job. Now he got $10 million Fitzmagic, who's been there, done that, going into his 16th year in the NFL. Harvard grad. In his 16th year, he's making $10 million to play quarterback. Good for Ryan Fitzmagic. Good for the Washington football team. Bud Dupree signed with the Tennessee Titans. This is massive and terrible for the AFC South. Bud Dupree, whenever he was playing for the Steelers last year, the Steelers were undefeated in their defensive line, was literally just meeting at the quarterback. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Bud Dupree, they were a problem. What's his name?
Tyson Alula.
Alula. They were just crushing and killing people. How you doing? Keep it moving. Offense wasn't that great a lot of games. Defense was winning those games. D-line was. Bud Dupree tears his ACL. Whole team looks very different. Now, obviously, you lose an all-pro, Pro Bowl type talent, your team's going to look different. But that entire team looked different whenever Bud got hurt. I wanted him in the Indianapolis Colts uniform. Bad. Coming off an ACL, nobody knew what was really going to happen. He gets a 5-year, $82.5 million deal, $35 million guaranteed to go play for the Tennessee Titans. Vrabel's got an absolute stud. Let's assume science has figured out how to get him back from his ACL tear, and he's going to be the same dominant player. Congrats to Vrabel. And then when it comes to basically every other free agent that you've ever heard of, okay, every single one, and we are now literally 9 minutes in to day 2 of the free agent tampering period. Tomorrow kicks off the league year.